We are going to review the exponent rules. Rule number 1 is the product rule. And so we're going to look at this example here. We have 3x squared y times 4x cubed z. So there is a rule that the problem is that most of the time people don't remember the rules. So we're going to look at a way that you can always do it regardless if you remember the rule or not. So the first thing we're going to do, just like when we did radicals, we're going to break it down. And so we have 3, we have 2 x's and a y, and we have 4, and we have 3 x's and a z. So basically, we write it out, we multiply the numbers, so we're going to multiply the 3 and the 4, and that gives us 12. And then we count our x's. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's. And we have a y, and we have a z. And so we're done with that. So now let's take a look at our second problem. Our second problem here, we've got 3 things that we're multiplying together. Now we have, over here we have b to the 0 power. Anything raised to the 0 power is just equal to 1. So that's something that we need to remember. Let's go ahead and write it all out. We have negative 3 times a. You can put little dots in between. It's not really necessary, but you can. Negative 3 times a, we've got a 6. We have a squared, so 2a's. We have no b's, so that's just going to be 1. And we've got 2, and we've got 3 a's, and we have 1 b. Because remember, no exponent is actually b to the first power. Multiply those numbers. Negative 3 times 6 is negative 18. Negative 18 times 2 is negative 36. And then we have a times a times a times a times a times a. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 a's. And we have 1 b. So we have negative 36 a to the 6th b. Now, if you had a particular one that had, say, let's say we had 4a to the 40th b, and we multiplied that by 8, say a to the 10th, b to the 100th. Now, we're not going to want to write out 40 a's and 100 b's. So let's kind of think about what we're doing. In the last one, we multiplied all the numbers. So 4 times 8 gives us 32. We're multiplying those coefficients. Now let's think about, if I wrote out 40 a's and I wrote out another 10 a's, that would give me a total of 50 a's. And I have 1 b and then 100 b's, so that would give me b to the 101. So anytime I have 2 things being multiplied, they have to have the same base. Let's say it's x to the n and x to the m. The bases have to be the same. Then we are going to add those exponents. What we forget, though, is we forget that, do I add or do I multiply? So this thing of writing it out always works.